Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla live stream. First one in a minute. Let me just send it in the server. Live streaming. Wow. Okay, there we go. Published to all servers. Yes. Welcome. Welcome. We should be live. Let me check on X, YouTube, and Twitch. Apparently, I'm live on Twitch. We haven't done this in a minute. Haven't done a live stream in a minute. Want to do more, get some sort of show going. Not sure, I was just like, you know what, let's just throw the camera on. I mean, I have some stuff planned, but I was like, let's just throw the camera on, get something going. There's no exact recipe or formula here. I'm going to figure it out as I go, and we'll figure out frequency and all that. But I wanted to start doing a live show because I haven't done one in a minute. So welcome, everybody. We're going to talk about the market. Of course, we have right now, actually, let me get that. Boom. Look at those graphics. Made that last night at 1 a.m. What do you guys think? We have right now the wet sale. I don't know what's happening. I think it's supposed to be live, the pre-sale. And then it just said next phase. It was supposed to go live at 10, unless I'm missing something, but it's not filling up. So I don't think I am. It was supposed to go live. Yeah, they delayed it. Okay. Starts at 10:10. They delayed it for 10 minutes. This thing was just botted, sold out in 10 seconds. And now they refunded because they're like, yo, these botters, screw them. And now, I don't know, they just put like a $500 limit, which is not going to do anything against the bots, in my opinion. Hopefully they have something planned for the bots, though. That would be really good. But in general, the market is looking good. If we go look at, if we go look at the crypto market, things are looking really good. If it loads here we go. Bitcoin at 91K, ETH at 3,100. You know, hype getting crushed, though. Hype at $30 is really painful, especially with those hypers being down bad. But today we're mostly going to talk about NFTs. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for me to do an NFT video. To be honest, there's just not much to talk about. In terms of upcoming projects, a majority of projects that I talk to, it feels like I am scrolling through TikTok brain rot. That's what some of these chats feel like. So I'm just not in the mood to research these projects because it feels like a waste of time. Yes, there are going to be some good ones, which we could talk about. But in general, it has been unpleasant being in NFTs recently. There's been some cooks. We're going to talk about them. But new NFT meta. I'm going to try to read the comments at the same time. They're on the side, so it's more difficult. But we'll get a hang of it. I haven't streamed in a minute, so we'll get a hang of it. So yeah, we're going to talk about NFTs. Let's just jump right into it. We'll close this for the crypto market. I'm going to keep this open on the side just because I want to get in 5 minutes. We're coming back to it in 5 minutes. I'll put it on my other screen, and we'll be back. Okay. Art Basel was this weekend. Looked really fun. The 1 year I don't go, it cooks. There was some literal cooks here, but let's first talk about Xcopy, who I don't know if he was there because they were giving out codes. So essentially he did this bubbles mint. The bubbles are free, okay? They're worth less than $1. You know, if you had whitelist, which 618,000 wallets had whitelist. One of mine, I don't know how, was whitelisted for 10. You could mint 10, which are currently tradable at 32 cents. Not bad, but that's $3.20. Nothing to feel bad about if you didn't get whitelist. What they were doing, though, is they were giving away codes at Art Basel, which if you had the rare codes, you get 1,500 bubbles, which at current prices is over $300 for free, just for going to an event at Art Basel, especially if you already live in Miami. That's really cool. So they had these events, and essentially the way this works is it's an NFT with a $10 million cap that did not mint out because just people didn't go check their wallets, I'm guessing. So 2.4 million minted out. Now, the way I'm looking at this is not as an NFT. It's as a meme coin, which I think, or not a meme coin, an Xcopy coin, excuse me, blasphemous, as an Xcopy coin. If you look here, some people are going ham. Like this guy just crossed over 100,000. Somebody's at 69421. I feel like somebody sent him the one just to be like, you can't be at 69420. We got Nate Alex collecting a lot. I got one of my friends, Skippy, here at 8,000. I see Arsonic. He also did a bid. We're going to talk about his bid that he was doing. He's at 10K. So I have about 1,000 that I've accumulated so far. I got to make my screen bigger if I want to see owned by you, but I have about 1,000 right now. And I'm looking at this as a token. Now, the way the mechanics work is Captain built this wonderful website. Good job, Captain. You can move it around the same way you can the bubbles. You could pop them. There's a little bubble counter on the top right, top left. Really cool. But you can see he put a market cap. And that's because this coin, let's refresh it because I think the floor is, unless the floor went down. No, 28 cents. Okay, it went down. So he put a market cap because I'm looking at this as a token. We're going to try to get a chart up here. It's on shape, so we got to figure out the contract. But I'm looking at this as a token, and it's deflationary over 10 years, okay? Over a 10-year period, it is going to go down. But it's, yeah, I'm looking at it as a token, not an NFT. So, sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on the sale. That's why so I'm looking at it as a token. So I'm accumulating tokens here. I've put in probably like $400 or $500 because I've been buying different ranges. They went up to $1. I mean, especially if this is deflationary, especially if you get a lot of whales, I'm just looking at this as a long-term play. It's a 10-year thing. Essentially, over a 10-year period, every single day, they are going to automatically burn from your wallet bubbles. So it's very possible. I have 1,000 right now. It's very possible they burn over, 5 years that I lose 600 bubbles. I'll still have 400 left. The last bubble standing wins a prize from Xcopy. I'm assuming a 1-of-1 piece from Xcopy. That thing is probably going to go for millions of dollars. If Xcopy is still relevant in 10 years, I think you will be. Who knows? Anything can happen. But that would be worth a lot because it's a 10-year game by Xcopy. So I've been accumulating, yes, I guess for the game, but to trade because I think these could do well, especially in 5 years as the supply is cut in half and more people, the price is just, it's deflationary. It's naturally going to go up. But also, I just think people haven't caught on that this is an Xcopy token. So that's the narrative I'm pushing, okay? Now, the next thing we had at Art Basel was by Beeple. He had been prepping for this for a while with these dogs. We've seen like the Mark Zuckerberg and the Jeff Bezos dog, it was funny. It's kind of these robot dogs in a cage where they're pooping. They are pooping out pictures. Now, Beeple was handing out these pictures to anybody who was there. There's a lot of non-Web3 people here, which is really cool. There's a lot of art fans, but you can see how everybody wants one, right? And that's because the pieces came with a QR code. Now, hopefully these people scan the QR code to make sure it's not an NFT because some of these were NFTs. You could see here, he explains it. He says 1,024 prints. I assume those are just different kinds of prints because there's probably more than 1,024 people who wanted those prints, but there was 256 NFTs. These NFTs cooked. Okay, this was a free NFT. Imagine going to Art Basel, Beeple hands you a picture, you scan it, you get an NFT, you open your wallet, and they're selling for $20,000, $30,000. If we look at the sale history, I got to make my screen a little bigger here. And if we look at the sale history, like that is crazy, sales of $35,000 for free. These were handed out for free by Beeple. Now, a lot of people did come in and accept offers. I should have put in offers. Shout out Captain for saying put in offers, and I didn't listen. Just getting some comments. Welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome. If you can, hit that like button, hit the retweet. It helps, but the like button, especially if you're on YouTube, like button helps a lot. So if you could hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, we got a bunch of sales here. Let's just go to the activity. Actually, that's much better. It's bigger for you guys. A bunch of people just came in and dumped, right? To be expected into bids. And then, there's bids that are higher. So if you would have just picked one up at 5 ETH, naturally you could flip it. However, people were still buying for 35,000 because this is Beeple. How long will these stay this high? I have no idea. We're still around the hype of Art Basel. Maybe in 2 weeks from now, it'll be lower. The floor will be at like 80th. I don't know. But this was really cool to be there. I regret not going. It's snowing here. I would have had the sun. And then people did a nice 1-of-1 here. This was funny. His everydays where he's like, on to the next one. And he's throwing it out in the garbage. That was a good post by him. Yeah, I really like that. But wow, two good art mints. There was actually a third, which was an auction. Can you guys see it on screen? It's a bit small. Let me zoom in here. Boom. There was an auction by Jack Butcher called Self-Checkout, but there was also a public receipts mint. So if you click this button on the top left, let me zoom out. I think it's closed actually. Okay, now it's closed. So basically, what you could have done is there was a button here that says buy a receipt, and you could have minted. I think it's a soulbound token. I forgot to mint, which really sucks. I wanted to mint one. If you paid $20 extra, he would have sent you a physical. So I should have minted because it's pay what you want. I could have paid $1 and minted. So I took the L there. I'm realizing now I didn't mint. But he had an auction for a 1 of 1. And here's where Arsenic came in. He was bidding this thing up to almost 28 ETH, close to 100 grand bidding on this 1 of 1 receipt from Jack Butcher. You could see the winning bid was $95,000. And this was by the concierge bid, which apparently means somebody at the Art Basel event, which is pretty wild. Somebody there, I guess, had their wallet on them and they were willing to commit to 100 grand on the spot. So 3 really big art mints that got a lot of attention. There's a ton others, of course, that happened around Art Basel that didn't. Oh my God, I forgot. Okay, no, wait. Refresh. Wait, did they delay it again? They delayed it again. Let's go. 17-minute delay. Okay, good. Back to the other screen. You know what? I'm going to put on my third monitor just so I keep the time to the side there. But yeah, so 3 really cool art mints at Art Basel. So that was really fun. I saw people, is this going to bring NFTs back? And look, NFTs are still down bad. Let's just go look at the front page here. NFTs are still down bad. The only I'm holding a hypers. These things are down so bad, dude. I've been playing the bubbles. Really nothing exciting on this page. Moonbirds is the only one that I'm considering at these prices, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I did just want to cover some other stuff first because this kind of fits in the box meta, right? Which is the thumbnail, the FUD thumbnail. I got 2 thumbnails. Okay, there's going to be a bullish one. I was trying the FUD one. What's this one? Hypeos did well, and so did the ones on Abstract. Good morning, Gorilla. Hey, good. Big time, Big A. Long time no chat, buddy. Yeah, Hypeos were a while back. Now they're down bad. They nuked their own project, unfortunately. Let's continue, though, down this road. We had UFC NFT or UFC Strike. UFC Strike NFTs, which are, a official partner of the UFC, but UFC Strike, just to be correct here, they sold on Telegram. Essentially, it was an auction, 240 phases, where this is the one I got. Yeah, I wanted a belt. That's all. I didn't even want a fighter. Okay, I wanted a belt, and I ended up getting this shake weight. But I bid on one. Essentially, you bid, 250 people win that round. If not, all the bids are rolled over to the next one. More people can bid, of course. And then, just really cool to see an official partnership. The previous one was Snoop Dogg. He sold 1 million NFTs for $12 million. I like that the supply here was much smaller. The supply was only 60,000, which sounds like a lot in our NFT world, but in Telegram NFT world, it is not. So these are gifts that you can attach to your name or decorate your profile with. So really cool because, it's official UFC fighters and official UFC NFTs. I'm trying to find because they posted all the fighters and stuff. It's not here. But so the way this works now is they're going to be live in 3 weeks, tradable as NFTs. It takes 3 weeks, unless they change that. It takes 3 weeks to start trading on a marketplace like Get Gems. These are the ones, I'm sure you guys have seen the plush Pepes, which at one point these things were selling for like 20 grand. Now I'm sure they're much lower. Let's go check sales. Yeah, 8,000, 12,000. The market's down, right? Everything's going to go down. There's still some crazy sales that happen, and it's still crazy to see these things selling for, to hear $20,000 sale. But yeah, doing really well still. And here are the Snoop Dogs. So Snoop Dogg sold a bunch of NFTs, and you could decorate your profile with these, which a lot of people are on Telegram every day. So it's, why not decorate your profile the same way you would your Twitter if Twitter brought back NFTs? So that's that. We also had today the reveal for the FWOG boxes, which, wow, look at this price action here. I was sleeping, so I missed it. And then I was prepping for the stream, so I missed all of this. But yeah, look at this price action. This is obviously the reveal dip. It goes down. It went all the way down to 0.127. Now back up a little bit. They look exactly like you'd expect a FWOG NFT to look. They look good, right? The art's always been good. Obviously, the floor ones are all going to be quite basic, which is why people are dumping them. They were going for some rares. Should we go check? Because I did sell one of my two. Let's go do it. Let's go do the. Oh my God, so many. Let's just filter here by FWOGs. Sale. Did I sell a one of one? It's cool looking. Not one of one though. I'm happy I did not sell a one of one. Boom. I destroyed it. I'm still holding one, but I did just see a one of one sold. Wow. This one sold for how much? Over 2 ETH. Over 2 ETH sale on a one of one FWOG. Now this was very well done. So shout out, I'm going to butcher the name, but Woot or Gwowoot, whatever it is. And shout out Braided, who helped with this a lot. This did really well. Let's actually look at the rare ones. Most rare. Have there been sales? Ooh, this person papered it. We got some cool ones. The one of ones, we got the Labubu one. We got the OpenSea one. Shout out OpenSea. Oh yeah, we got this one's cute. The Bitcoin Wizard one. I like it. Let's just look at some art here. This one's cool. The upside down one, the beat up one, the zombie. Yeah, a lot of one-on-ones. Some really cool one-on-ones here. Obviously he's a super. Oh, the Sam Spratt. He's a super talented artist, so it's not shocking that this performs well and that the art looks cool. But what was I going to do? The meta. So the way this works was these sold through. Oh, huge sweep just came through. These sold through Fidgetals. So they did physical boxes, and it wasn't the first in the meta. The first would have to be. I got to be careful opening the website because it really crashes your browser. So I just want to be careful. The first was these ones. If it loads, I couldn't get it to load yesterday. It was really annoying. The first was these boxes on Collector's Crypt by Moonbirds. And Moonbirds, have been doing really well. People are speculating that these are going to get you the Burb token, which it does seem like they will. Because the claim is currently live. So you have to go on Collector's Crypt to claim your boxes if you minted. And it says you're going to get one card pack with a randomized collectible card. I think you also get a figurine, right? There's figurines. And then you also get a QR code. People are saying it's a scratchy that's going to give you a Burb airdrop. Here they go. They run through the whole process and everything. Spencer's been opening them live on stream. Let me go see if there's a stream that's here. Yeah, here we go. He's been opening them live on stream. So here's the box. Let's see that figure. There's the card. There's the figure. Boom. Figures look good, right? The figures look high quality. The cards are. They're the makers of the vibe cards from Pudgy Penguin. So the quality. The cards to me are like hit or miss. I mean, the quality is good, but me, it's the characters. Because if you look at Pokemon, which I don't. Oh, you can't see it here. I have Pokemon cards behind me. If you look at the idea behind Pokemon's, and even what Azuki's doing with their, can I get the TCG? Yeah, with their TCG, it's different. It comes off as different characters. Here we got Zagabon, we got Bobu. They have the different characters going for them, which I think that's a huge plus for Azuki and their card game versus Moonbirds, and especially the vibe cards from Pudgy Penguins. It's all a penguin, and it looks almost like the same penguin wearing different outfits. So that's where, for me, those cards games struggle a little bit because it's not like you have a Pikachu. You don't have that main Pikachu character, and then you have a Charmander, you have a Muck and a Gyarados, and all these characters that people gravitate towards one. It's kind of just like a penguin. It's kind of just like a Burb. Now, I know Moonbirds are trying to do some branding around different Burbs. They introduced like Zen and another character. So we'll see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, they're all just like owls that are different colors. So I think that's something they're going to have to overcome. But the figurines look great. They did those boxes. The boxes were trading above the mint price. So really good. People are speculating that you get a token airdrop. Amazing. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read the comments at the same time. We'll get to the comments after. Okay, here the box is loaded. So now I think they're these were like 0.2 or 0.25. So they're back under, but because the claim is happening, right? I'm sure these guys have claimed. Now they're trying to dump them. I'm probably just going to hold on to mine because maybe this does get you something extra. But I'm seeing a lot of speculation about moonbirds. I did see this Moon Boy tweet here. Do not believe these numbers. Okay, I'm not saying these numbers are going to happen, but essentially saying, out of 500 mil FDV, if they do 35% for the moonbirds and soulbound tokens, $46,000 per moonbird. Which, if that anything, even half of this speculation, $20,000, like the floor right now is less than that, right? The floor on moonbirds is $5,000. That would be insane. It would not shock me if Spencer and the Moonbird team are trying to do something like this with, like, you know what? Let's just give them more than everybody gives. Like, Pudgy's did really well. Pudgy's airdrop equivalent to the floor because, there was insiders buying, which I don't see how there wouldn't be insiders here. And the fact that it's not pumping, maybe the token isn't soon, or maybe this theory is wrong where they're going to get more than they're currently worth. The other thing is they've been airdropping, or they've been doing claims for soulbound tokens. So how much are those soulbound tokens going to affect the claim of, or your airdrop, right? If I just bought a moonbird, am I going to get $1,000 versus somebody who held one since soulbound token 1 is going to get 20 grand? That would make sense for holders, but that would really suck for somebody buying in the secondary market, especially because the price, the price is going to nuke. We all know the game. The price is going to nuke, so you have to give more than the moonbird is worth. If you do, beautiful. Or you have to give equivalent, right? Beautiful. It's going to hold up. If not, people are going to be like, okay, my moonbird's worth $5,000. I just got dropped $2,500. The value of this moonbird is now $2,500, and they sell it at a 50% loss. That's just how people work in this space. So it's a difficult space to navigate. I think they're doing a good job so far. There was certain marketing that was a bit cringe by design, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But anyways, they kicked off this meta. Then Fwogs came in and they did blind boxes at $25 a box. Extremely reasonable pricing. Very well done by Fwogs. And they collected a wallet. The speculation, which, I pushed as well, was there's going to be the wallet is going to be whitelist for the ETH mint, which they had teased the ETH mint for a while. And that's exactly what happened. This thing cooked. It went all the way almost to 0.3. If you bought the boxes, you absolutely cooked. I didn't buy enough. I know I saw, is he still on here? Maybe not. Oh yeah, right here. Boom. TMA has 45. Like, he absolutely cooked. Casual collector here. Woot obviously has a lot. But you cooked. If you bought a lot of the boxes, you held for whitelist, you did so well. You are way in the green. So Moonbird started this meta. Fwogs came in, a Solana project, launched on ETH. You sold physicals, which I'm still holding my physicals. Okay, I'm going to get them for the back of my studio back here. They did extremely well. Now we have more projects coming in. Okay, we have Pudgy Penguins. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, here, boom. Pudgy Penguins come in and do a mystery box. Now, Pudgy has a massive fan community. I have some Pudgies behind me. Let's get them. Boom. We got some Pudgies behind me here. Okay, big fan of Pudgies. I felt weird about this one. I was like, this kind of feels like they're trying to offload some merch or something. I don't know. So that felt off. Look, if they do $100, if they have a bunch of merch in their back office or whatever you want to call it. They just delayed again. Now it's 11 a.m. Perfect. If they have a bunch of stuff like stuffed animals and t-shirts and stuff that they want to get rid of at cost or even at a slight loss, these boxes were the perfect way to do it because they're making money. They're getting the money at cost. They're able to give so much to the people who bought these that you're going to get your money's worth. That's how I look at it. Okay, I have no idea what's in these, but I feel like you're going to get your money's worth if you just wanted merch. Now the speculation, because these were moving slow, right? There was like 2,000 sold. The speculation comes in when Lucas says, "Yeah, you're going to get a soulbound token." Then sales started to skyrocket, right? It like over 3x sales. We have 7,200 sold. These are I haven't checked secondary, but because I couldn't find it, but someone did tell me they are trading for less than $100. No idea if that's still the case, but you cannot redeem it. I think it's 3 months, right, to redeem this. But I'm not a fan of this. Like, you have no idea what's in it. I get it. It's a mystery box, but I don't know. Yeah, March 1st. Available on March 1st. That's a long time. if you don't know what's in it. Like why aren't we getting these for Christmas? I guess that's how I'm looking at it. Send me a mystery box in the mail for the holidays. That would have been beautiful. If they're making a brand new toy for this, awesome. That is dope. I really like that. So, that's what I'm wondering. Like, why did this happen now before the holidays? But I understand it takes a long time to pack all this stuff and to ship all this stuff, but why is it 3 months? So if this one felt a little more last minute and like chasing the meta. And then the latest one is going to be Nuco. I'm also, people are calling it Nukai because it's Nuco AI. But yeah, here with Fidgetals, they are doing a box. There's still time. I think there's still an hour and a half left on these. 2 hours and a half left. So you can get the single at $100. This is expensive compared to Fwogs, but it's a 6-inch vinyl. So it's an actual figurine of their character, which they've done an amazing job at marketing. Like this character, I've seen them all over the timeline. They're building a really strong community. They have support directly from Solana. So they are doing really good. People are here's the funny thing. Okay. And I spoke to the founder on Spaces yesterday, and like a lot of people see my tweet and they say, oh, it's FUD. No, it's just an opinion. And like, it's funny that communities will say like, oh, teams aren't listening to our feedback. But if you give feedback before things take a turn for the worse, then it's FUD. But when things are going bad, everybody's like, yo, listen to our feedback. Like, aren't you FUDding? I don't know. I always found that funny. But they're doing toys publicly. Everybody's like, oh my God, these are amazing. Like, let's go. Only $99. Like, yeah, people posting most official. This is the character. They've done a really good job at getting this character out there. You've probably seen them on the timeline. Now, the thing that I'm getting asked is, should I mint this? And I'm like, why would you mint it? And people are like, oh, I want an airdrop or something, right? I think a majority of people are not minting because they want a figurine. The figurine to them is a bonus, even though the figurine is the main thing you should be buying. You should be thinking when you're buying. What people want is they have a token coming. They have G-Boy coin coming in December. So, it would make sense if you get the thing here, create, connect, collect. I don't know. To me, I would assume they're giving the token. They've kind of been replying to tweets saying, no, it's just a vinyl. It's just a vinyl. They're kind of doing anti-speculation. So I respect it. But people are obviously gonna push this narrative, including me right now talking about it, right? So that was kind of the meta that's happening, which I put in the thumbnail, which we'll see how this does. We'll see how many more projects now try to do physical boxes, but one that is taking a different route and going with digital. Let me close some of these because it's starting to annoy me. Boom, 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 boom. We're just going to close them all. Free up the browser. Close them all. There we go. We got Doodles coming in and introducing Dupies for their own digital box, not a physical box. Now, this is a secondary mint. We have some pricing here that they came out. So it's going to be a 25,000 supply on Solana. Their main NFT is on Ethereum. This one is on Solana. So if you hold a duplicator or a Doodles, you get so Doodles, you have to sign up. Okay, you have to sign up. Doodles, you get 1-to-1. Website tripping here. Yeah, Doodles, you get 1-to-1 for your Doodle holdings. But duplicators, it's 1 per wallet, which kind of sucks. There was an arbitrage opportunity. There still is technically, because the mint price for these things is 1 SOL, which is really expensive. If you consider the 1-to-1 Doodles and Space Doodles, so 10,000. So 10,000 of these, and then you consider 1 per holder. So the holder count is like 1,000 something. Was it higher? Oh, no, it's 4,000. Okay, 4,000 of these. I was thinking 1,400 for the Space Doodles. So let's say 15,000. It's never going to be a 1-to-1 claim. So let's just say 12,000. That's still 13,000 NFTs to be sold at 1 Solana. And apparently there's going to be an option to pay 3 SOL where you get a guaranteed rare because let's just talk about it first. So essentially it's going to be these characters. These are side characters. You get to evolve them and stuff. There is a tweet. Let me find it. By Burnt Toast. Yeah, right here. That shows off a lot of the characters. The characters look great, right? These look really good. His art has always been good. Nobody's denying that the art is good. Here he's saying, we've always wanted to do a secondary character collection. So this is a secondary character collection, the official one on Solana, on a side chain to their main collection. Personally, it reminds me a little bit of Artifact, because Artifact did try to do this side character thing with these eggs, right? Where they, what was it called? RTFKT. Project Animus, yeah. Project Animus, where they come in with these characters. Animus or Artifact abandoned this, right? They left the space. I had such high hopes for this, such high hopes. They could have done cool stuff with the shoes. They could have done a Pokemon Go game. People would have loved it, in my opinion. But unfortunately, they abandoned it. So it kind of reminds me a lot of this one. Not that saying that Doodles is going to abandon it, but just the, you have a box, you hatch the box, you get a monster that you could evolve. They said the contract is customizable. They can do a ton of gamification. Great. So you get one claim plus a whitelist. If you have a doodle, you get one claim, or multiple doodles, you get multiple. You get one claim per wallet for a duplicator. The price is one soul, which is $135 right now. These are trading for $100. So what you could do is you could buy a duplicator. If there is a snapshot that was already taken, it's really not been communicated well, but registration closes today at 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe. I'll have to double check that. I did post it, so I can't double check it, but basically there's arbitrage here. You could buy one for $100, get a free claim and a whitelist, and then dump it probably at 50% loss, right? You could probably dump it at 0.15, maybe a little bit less, but still you are getting a cheaper entry than their mint price. So why aren't people taking advantage? Why is the arbitrage still there? That's what, where's the demand for Dupies going to come from? I hope it mints out. I hope this is super successful, okay? And people are buying these for 5x the floor. But right now, it's a good argument that I'm seeing on the timeline, which I tweeted about right here. Where's the, and a lot of the comments seem to agree. I'm not seeing a lot of pushback on this. So yeah, I don't know. Where's the arbitrage? Why is it not being taken advantage of? So I don't know where the demand is going to come from. Again, I hope it mints out, but this feels pretty weird. On a Spaces, the CM said this is like a chance for somebody to get into Doodles community cheaper. Wasn't that the whole Flow Doodles 2 thing where they were like free or something and you could dress them with clothes? I asked about it. I didn't really get the answer if you get an avatar from that, or if you need to hold a Doodles. Maybe you do need to hold a Doodles so that it doesn't work. But is there demand for a secondary collection right now in this NFT market where people are like, I really want a doodle, but I can't afford one. So please drop another NFT that, is it going to hold its price with 25K supply, especially that doodles are getting them for free? You're telling me a doodle holder isn't going to take that $100 or whatever it is? I don't know. So yeah, that's what's going on in the world of NFTs. Yeah, that's things still delayed. Let's talk about some tokens now. We had multiple tokens launch. I did see a tweet this morning. Let me try to go find it because I did not note it down, unfortunately. But it was they kind of copied my tweet. They kind of copied my tweet a little bit. Boom. Yeah, right here. A tale of 3 gaming TGs. I wonder who said a tale of 2 TGs, huh? Basically, there's some more coins here. So we had Power, which is by Fableborn, but this was 2 years ago, right? Fableborn. I farmed the game a little bit. I did see people were upset with the airdrop. Same thing for Play Ember. The other game was Play Ember, which you can just see on the charts here how they performed. This one's been cooking versus this one is boom. That's not what you want your chart to look like. This is what you want your chart to look like. So wow, new all-time high. That's crazy. Good for them, man. Good for them. So essentially, this is a game called Fableborn. Let's get it up on screen. Fableborn. You'll probably remember this now if you see it. Is there gameplay? Yeah, Fableborn, a mobile game, but gaming sucks, right? You're not going to do well if you release a gaming coin. Nobody cares about your gaming coin. So what they did is they made it an infra play, right? It's, I guess they help you launch your app on blockchain much smarter, right? That your scope is way bigger. Your revenue opportunities are way bigger. It's way bigger than just one game. Play Ember thought the same thing. instead of doing gaming though, they did some like AI DeFi thing, which is out of their wheelhouse. Maybe it isn't. Maybe they're really good at it. But for their community, for gamers don't necessarily like DeFi. They don't necessarily want to risk their money into DeFi. So for Play Ember, it felt like they're like, okay, gaming coin's going to flop. We got to think of a product. Let's just think of something. Versus Fableborn, it feels like they thought, gaming coin's going to flop. Let's do what we're good at and expand and help other people do it. So that's what it feels like right now. So this one is super successful. Really great seeing a token do well. I also like how they handled their NFTs. Maybe some people were mad about this. I didn't see it, but they basically they refunded you on your NFTs. And then on top of it, they gave you an airdrop. So here you see Moritz say, hey, I got $26,000 of a power token airdrop on top of a 25K they refunded me for my NFTs. So, and now it's worth even more because they essentially airdropped him 50 grand. So he made 75K this week. GG Moritz, crushing it. Or even more because it's even higher. So this was really good. Very well received. I didn't look into what these other coins are. Fishing Frenzy Co. Apparently it did well. Let's go see. Okay, 3 million market cap. Nothing crazy, but it's green. It's up. And then what's this other one here? I have no idea. I've never seen this game in my life. He says it did well. Let's go see. No, that's power. What's this one? No market cap. Okay, apparently those multiple did well. I don't know. But yeah, just these two coins. So nice seeing one gaming coin do well, at least. And then speaking of gaming, this week we have Play Cambria. I'm seeing a lot of people like, what is there to do it in crypto right now? We have a 10-day tournament of Play Cambria. The prize pool is already over $1 million. It's going to be the biggest prize pool yet. So I love this community. I love the team. Super awesome. I farmed a lot early on. I haven't played this season. Like, I'm just limited for time, right? I'll jump in, but I can't grind the 10 days, right? If I was younger, if I had didn't have all like making videos and everything, I'd be grinding the 10 days. I know there's some guilds, shout out Plague Knights, who are crushing it. They're going like 10 days straight, right? But yeah, here I made a wonderful video. If you guys want to go watch it, look at this. My editors crushed it. Wait. They crushed it with the gorilla. Yeah, I made a video, all the different ways to earn. You can go check it out if you want to understand how to earn. But they've done a really good job, especially looking at all these other games that have abandoned Web3 and they are just like full steam ahead. They recently did a raise. Their NFTs do really well. I think their token's going to do well. So I have a lot of volume, especially in Duel Arena. Hopefully I get a nice token airdrop from that. If you use my code Gorilla, it'll benefit me as well. But that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is just farm airdrops. I tweeted about a few airdrops. Let me go find it. But OpenSea obviously one I'm continuing to farm. Things like the whole DEX game, like Hyperliquid, Edgex, Lighter. I would only do that if I'm good at perp trading, right? Don't get wrecked perp trading and lose money chasing an airdrop. That is never what you want to do. But I think Hyperliquid's going to do really well. Their token has been iffy lately, but it's still up like crazy. Edgex is one that I farmed. I did not farm Lighter, but I think Lighter is going to do really well as well. And then some other airdrops here. So I'm getting ready for Mega ETH. I've been testing all the apps. I have a website coming out called Waypoint that we've been building. So Mega ETH, I think, is going to be one that a lot of people are interested in. They're giving away 2.5 million, 2.5% in rewards. Let's go see on Hyperliquid here. Hyperliquid trade. Let's go find Mega. I wonder what it's at. I haven't checked it in a minute. It's at right now 3 billion. So 75 million in rewards. Yeah. I just think people are impatient. I think it will go back up. My target for Mega ETH was always 2 to 3 billion. So yeah, that's one I'm going to be farming. Polymarket, if you look on the mind share, like prediction markets are dominating mind share, right? People are just super hype with this stuff. It's the new way to, gamble, even though it's trading, but there's been a debate about that as well in the timeline. So I've been doing Polymarket for the airdrop, obviously wallets, MetaMask, Rabby, but I'm just naturally using them. And then Base. I think Base, they have an announcement coming up on December 17th and 18th. They're going to be launching their Base app worldwide. That's what part of the announcement is, at least, because right now it's gated. So I think, Farcaster, Zora, Base app, I think it's worth using that stuff if you want the airdrop. There's also this page, guild.xyz on Base. There's these medals that you can connect. I need to sign in here. Let me do it off screen just in case they show any of my stuff. Okay, good. So there's these medals that you can essentially collect. There's different, there's like on-chain stuff, there's creator voices, builders, and all that. So, it's super easy. You literally just connect and collect badges. I don't know if this is going to do anything. It'd be cool if it did, right? Like, oh, hey, it's one of the metrics. You're got all this stuff on Base. And it's literally just clicking buttons. Like, it's super easy. This is on guild.xyz. I wish there was an invite code that I could shell here. But I've just been collecting them. And then, like games, like if you're doing Virtuals Protocol, if you're doing football.fun, if you're doing, right? What Jesse has said it, create, trade, and build. That's how you want the airdrop. You either got to be trading tokens, you got to create or build. Now, I hope they do not block people who are in certain countries like they did on Coinbase for the Monad presale. People are assuming there's going to be a Base presale. They said they're going to try to hit one sale per month, which December 17th would be the 1 month timeline from Monad. So maybe that is going to be something that they try to do, but which would suck. Like if I can't enter the Base presale because my country, but this is what I'm doing right now. Airdrop stuff, focusing on content. I know the market sucks right now, even though crypto is a little bit back up, but in general, I feel vibes are down still a lot. So, speaking of vibes being down, we broke back under 90K. The price action has been so toxic. Like this is not, I don't know. This is not normal price action. Like what is this, dude? What is this? This just feels like manipulation at its finest. Yeah, this boom, 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 boom. But that does it. GM, welcome everybody. Welcome. I know I didn't go through the comments this time, but we're getting back into it. It's tough. I got to figure out my screen placement. Next time I'll put that one on that and that on that. That'll fix it. That way I can see the chat right here. But yeah, that does it for today's stream. Just wanted to jump on camera and get back to doing the live streams. So I want to do a lot more of these, maybe get a show out of it, get some people up here with me, maybe interview some people, but even some co-host kind of stuff going. I really like those kind of shows, and I think it makes it a lot more exciting for the audience. I appreciate everybody who wants to listen to me babble on, but I think it'd be good to get some back and forth banter, right? And people bring, different expertise. Wow, this is disgusting. People bring different expertise to the stage. So I think it's really valuable. So if there's anybody you'd like to see, let me know and I'll get them on the show. If you want me to interview anybody or if you want me to create videos about a certain topic, let me know. I will get it done. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for tuning into another Crypto Gorilla video. If you could hit the like button, that'll really help me, especially on YouTube. It tells YouTube like, hey, I really like this. There's some new hype feature, which maybe I have to activate. I got to look into that. But subscribe if you haven't already done so. Going to be doing a lot more of these. Touch from Legend of Bredio would be cool. Yeah, I can get some Mega ETH people on here for sure. The GOAT. Hey, thank you, sir. Thank you, Castle. But yeah, we'll do some stuff. So anybody you want to see on, let me know. Even I'll read if you reply to the tweet after, I'll read it. Or my DMs are open as well. DMs are open. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Gonna end it here. Peace.